But more than anything about that, and all I can think about all week after playing Kingdom Hearts, is how terrible all of the Disney princesses are. How they are awful.
No, that's a statement and a half.
They are terrible. And Kingdom Hearts puts it in really stark relief.
Let's elaborate.
Hold on, are you saying in Kingdom Hearts context?
No, in general. Okay, Aurora, Cinderella, Snow White, and Belle
No, Belle's good,
all
though.
start off the game kidnapped already because who cares?
In the game.
That is
Yeah.
certainly true.
Who gives a shit about Aurora? You're looking at me, you don't even know which one that is. That's
don't.
Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. The only cool thing about Sleeping Beauty is Maleficent.
Yeah.
Because she's fucking
Yeah.
evil.
Yeah.
And then, so you go through that, and then you run into Alice, and she's just high. And then you run into the two remaining, which is the best Disney princess and the worst Disney princess. Jasmine, who I don't think anyone's going to fight me on if I say she's the best one.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I really like Mulan.
Okay, but I wouldn't consider her
she's
Disney
Isn't
princess.
Mulan only
she's-
the second one?
And she's not a princess.
She's considered a princess.
No, she isn't.
She's in the
I
list.
put-
Okay, well
She
then
might be.
Mulan gets to the top.
if-
Mulan's
If
fucking
we're allowed to
badass.
put Mulan in, then she's at the top, but I
Yeah.
think Belle's second over Jasmine.
Okay,
Sure.
but
But Belle isn't even a princess.
And Pocahontas is
no,
pretty
she's
cool
not.
Pocahontas, Esmeralda is my favorite Disney girl. She's not a
She's a
princess.
prostitute.
But she's my. She's the hottest.
I think the point I'm trying to make here is that
Yeah.
you go from
too. Jessica Rabbit, just throw
Yeah, Jessica Rabbit.
you go from the Aladdin world where Jasmine is like actively resisting Jafar and more or less telling Jafar to go fuck himself. You remember that part in Aladdin?
But she still gets
where
kidnapped.
Where she said, "Hey Jafar, how about you fuck yourself?" And he goes, "Yeah." Right? And then you go over to the worst Disney princess, which is the Little Mermaid, who is the worst character. The entire plot of the Little Mermaid is she goes up and she sees a hot dude and says, "Boy, I'd like some dick." And then she goes to her dad, and her dad says, "No dick for you." So then she goes and makes a bad deal with a witch, and then that ends up killing her dad.
We maybe
And then the man has to
paraphrase
save her.
How much of this? Is
Everything she does actively empowers her own villain.
How much of this is you just hating her gingerness?
Oh, nothing.
You gotta get
Nothing.
that.
Every single thing every other princess does is either nothing or at least tries to stop their own villain. Right? They're like, "No, don't be evil. Don't kidnap me."
Or Belle is.
Or Belle tells Gaston to go fuck himself.
Tells Gaston to go fuck himself, and then tells the Beast like, "No, I'm out of here. You're being a dick."
Also,
Like-
you should totally kill Gaston. He's
yeah,
a dick.
please kill Gaston.
Right?
I like the concept that King tried and say no dick for you.
No dick
You
for
will
you.
make do with weird fish parts.
All you got is weird fish parts.
Yeah.
Okay?
Again, if Mulan was there, she'd be like Onimusha and
Right?
everywhere.
And Ariel, instead of fighting her villain, she makes a deal with her villain. And then gets the villain more superpowers. She's terrible. She's awful.
We're not arguing.
one's
no one's saying
And then in Kingdom Hearts, you get there, and even though she's an actual princess in the game, they're like, no. Because they're weird fish parts.
Isn't that a musical section, or is that the second
No, that's
game?
the second one.
game,
Which
right.
oh god, that musical section's bad.
There's that new princess too, the black one from the Black Girl and the Frog.
Yeah.
What's her name? We were wrong. I was
Princess.
asking you guys, and no one could come up with her
Black
name.
Girl.
And
That's
that's
her name.
and that's why it's sad, because that's what she is. She exists to be. Everyone's yelling at us.
princess.
Here's a black princess.
Is Spirit a princess? Is the horse a
Wait,
princess?
who's Spirit? Who's Spirit?
The horse.
What's the princess from Hercules? There was a girl.
Hercules, I
The girl
guess.
with the eyes in the
Yeah,
hair.
That was the
Megara.
art
It was
style.
Meg, wasn't it?
It's
Meg.
Elaine.
Yeah.
It's Elaine
There's,
Bennis in
what's her
ancient
face from
Greece.
From what?
Brave.
Yeah, I forget what the girl from Brave's name even
she
was.
totally counts as a
Yes,
princess.
no, she
but
is
Brave
as well.
kinda
She's
sucked.
officially got inducted into the Princess Hall
yeah,
of Fame.
but I don't
Remember there was that story where Pixar
Yes.
went nuts?
Yes, because of her dress, and she's all prettified
Yeah.
to be appealing to
She
little
had
girls.
slightly more cleavage and
No,
Pi-
no.
Pixar went
No, she got
there was
busted.
way more. It was really dumb.
It was bad.
They made her wear a long, pretty dress.
The whole point
They
about
made
that
her wear-
character is that she's a tomboy.
Yeah.
And then they dressed her up like a princess.
And they put makeup on her and all this dumb shit.
Well, how can you sew the dolls and the toys if she's a
you know
So
what?
don't do it.
You know
then.
what?
Exactly.
There is a subset of girls that are tomboys that probably still like to play with dolls.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But if that's what the character is,
No, that's my point.
About-
Leave the doll
Yes,
as
yes,
a
okay.
tomboy.
Someone will buy it.
And then they can play G.I. Joe with their brother.
you know, the latest shitstorm with the guy coming out and going, the animator come out and going, it's hard to animate
Oh, that was so
girls.
fucked up. Oh, it was so fucked
It's
up.
hard to animate girls because you need to make them emote, but also
You
make
can't
them pretty
distort their faces.
because they need to be pretty at all times.
Like on a very basic level, like people were grabbing like screenshots of various animated films and like, look how fucked up Gaston's face can get.
Yeah,
In this
Awesome.
song, like his jaw is like a foot out from his face.
Oh yeah, and that's how you make proper animation,
Right?
You
But-
stretch and squash.
And they are given this edict. I'm gonna assume this is everyone in the animation industry designing chicks for anything, that like you can't have a freeze frame that makes this character look like a monster.
So what it's called is off model.
Off model.
Right, it's called off model.
Oh, that's
and
creepy.
if you have like a 3D model that's rigged properly, for example,
Mm-hmm.
you would be able to literally have the values for her jaw
Yeah.
at 0 and 100 be the slightest
Yeah.
thing. Because anything worse than that is like, this is not pretty to people. They're going to consider it ugly. It doesn't.
Oh, it's fucked up.
And then the people drawing by hand have to apply to the same rules in hand.
Oh.
Yo, I just thought Kingdom Hearts 3 has to have Rapunzel from Tangled.
Yeah.
And she does wicked weaves.
No, you know
That's
what?
awesome.
You know what Kingdom Hearts